In the year 2075, Earth received its first message from the stars. The transmission came through every radio and television on the planet at exactly 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The message was simple: humanity is invited to join the Galactic Council. Prime Minister Ji-won Kim stood before the United Nations Assembly Hall, his hands trembling with emotion. "This is the greatest day in human history," he announced. "We are no longer alone." The world erupted in celebration. From Seoul to London, from Mumbai to New York, people danced in the streets. President Hye-jin Lee held a global ceremony the next day. Billions watched as she spoke into the cameras. "Today marks humanity's entrance onto the cosmic stage," she said. Her voice carried hope and joy. Minister Woo Jin Park led Earth's first contact committee. Scientists, diplomats, and military advisors worked around the clock to prepare for the Council's arrival. Commander Sung-ho Choi reviewed Earth's defense systems, though everyone believed weapons would never be needed. After all, this was a meeting between friends. The Council ships appeared 2 weeks later. Massive vessels dwarfed Earth's space stations. Hundreds of alien species met in a holographic conference with Earth's leaders. The Council ambassador, a creature they named Crix, smiled as it spoke. Its translator made its voice sound friendly and welcoming. "We have reviewed Earth's development," Crix announced. "The Council finds humanity interesting." The word hung in the air like a threat, though no one understood it yet. Then came the declaration that changed everything. Earth is hereby classified as a primitive development zone. Your planet will be quarantined until further notice. The smiles vanished from every human face in the room. Secretary of Defense Ji-hoon Kim stood up. "What does this mean?" he asked, his voice steady despite the shock. "It means Earth cannot leave its solar system. It means you cannot develop certain technologies. It means you owe tribute to the Council for the privilege of this arrangement." Crix's smile never wavered. "Monthly shipments of rare minerals, your most advanced technologies, and selected individuals for study." The room erupted in protests. President Lee slammed her hand on the table. "This is unacceptable. We are a sovereign world." Crix turned to her with what seemed like amusement. "You misunderstand your position. Your compliance is not optional." Earth's leaders returned to their home countries in confusion and anger. Emergency sessions were called. Military forces were mobilized. Within days, Earth had made its decision. They would refuse the Council's demands. The response came swiftly. Commander Sung-ho Choi was in Seoul's defense headquarters when the alarms sounded. Every screen in the room displayed the same message. "System failure." "Sir, our satellites are offline," a young officer shouted. "Missiles won't launch. Communication systems down." Within 10 minutes, every military installation on Earth had been disabled. Fighter jets fell from the sky, their engines mysteriously dying. Ships drifted powerless in harbors. Defense grids meant to protect cities became useless scrap metal. Secretary Ji-hoon Kim stood helplessly in the Situation Room. All their advanced technology, the pride of human engineering, had been turned off like a light switch. Not destroyed, not damaged, simply made inert. The final humiliation began the next day. Every screen, every device capable of broadcasting, received a transmission from the Galactic Council. It was a ceremony, like a cosmic variety show. The Council presented something called the Primitive Species Index. Earth was ranked number 497 out of 500 known civilizations. Laughter filled the transmission, not the warm laughter of friendship, but the cruel mocking of a bully finding its victim. "Observe," the host announced, "the natives of Earth. They believed their primitive weapons could challenge the Council. They thought their simple technology made them equals." More laughter echoed across the galaxy. Foreign Minister Min Jun-yang made one last attempt at diplomacy. He stood before a holographic council session, his dignity intact despite the humiliation. "We ask for respect. We ask for the chance to prove ourselves worthy partners." The council representatives responded with more laughter. Some species made sounds that the translator couldn't convert. Perhaps they were jokes about humans that no machine could explain. Crix leaned forward. "Primitives do not make requests of the Council. Primitives submit or suffer." By the end of the week, Council garrison ships had taken positions around Earth. They were not there to attack but to watch, like guards monitoring prisoners. Trade was forbidden. Space travel was restricted to Earth's moon. Any attempt to send signals beyond the solar system was blocked. President Hae-Jin Lee addressed the world one more time. Her voice was tired but resolved. "We remain Earth, we remain human. They may have humiliated us today, but they have not broken us." The people watching her speech saw something in her eyes, not fear, but determination. The occupation had begun. Council representatives walked Earth's cities, taking samples of technology, studying human culture like scientists examining laboratory specimens. Children watched alien figures moving through their neighborhoods, asking questions that adults couldn't answer. Underground, however, something had already begun. Scientists who had witnessed the Council's technology started making notes. Engineers examined the disabled systems, looking for patterns. Military officers began training in secret locations, developing new tactics. The humiliation was complete, but the story was just beginning. Earth had been knocked down, but in that darkness a new kind of strength was being forged. The galaxy had laughed at humanity, and humanity would remember that laughter. And in the silence of humiliation, the whispers of resistance had already started to grow. The years after the humiliation were long and quiet on Earth's surface. Council officials walked freely through human cities, taking what they wanted, while humans bowed their heads and handed over their required tributes. But beneath this apparent submission, something was growing. In Antarctica, deep under miles of ice, scientist Da-Hyun Park worked 18 hours a day. Her team had discovered the Council's oversight during their first encounter. When the aliens disabled Earth's systems, they hadn't damaged anything. They just switched things off. This meant human scientists could study exactly how it was done. "Look at these energy patterns," Da-Hyun told her assistant, pointing at holographic displays. "The Council's technology uses a simple override signal. Once we understand the frequency, we can build shields." She worked through the night, knowing that every day of delay meant more humiliation for humanity. Factory worker Hyun-Woo Jong lived a double life. By day, he assembled parts for mining equipment, closely monitored by Council overseers. By night, he worked in secret facilities, building weapon components. His calloused hands moved with precision as he crafted pieces that would soon become humanity's hope. "We're making things the Council won't recognize as weapons," his supervisor whispered during a late-night shift. "Small parts, harmless alone, but deadly when combined." Dr. So Young Choi treated both humans and visiting Council members in Seoul's main hospital. While performing medical procedures, she noticed patterns in alien technology. Their medical scanners, their environmental suits, everything followed predictable routines. She passed this information to the resistance through coded messages in medical reports. "They scan for weapons," she wrote in her journal, "but they never scan for curiosity. They never suspect we're studying them as much as they study us." Engineer Kai Tai-shin developed quantum computers in a converted subway tunnel. His breakthrough came when he realized alien battle tactics followed mathematical models, predictable patterns, repeated strategies. With enough processing power, human computers could predict Council military moves before they happened. "They don't adapt," Kite explained to his team. "A species that never faces real opposition becomes set in its ways. This is their weakness." Minister of Technology Suji Lee became the secret coordinator of Earth's hidden fleet. Using asteroid mining operations as cover, humans built ships designed to match no known Council configuration. Instead of copying alien designs, human engineers created entirely new concepts. "Our ships will be smaller, faster, and unpredictable," Suji told. "Secret military meetings. We can't match their raw power, so we'll use what they can't comprehend: creativity." The Council's arrogance played directly into human plans. Every year they demanded more resources, but paid less attention. They established routines and never changed them. Security patrols followed the same routes. Communication systems used the same encryptions. They treated Earth like a farm, not a potential threat. Civil Defense Chief Young Ho Nam built a network of resistance cells spanning every continent. Each cell operated independently, sharing information through carefully coded messages. A simple weather report might contain military intelligence. A cooking recipe could hide weapon specifications. If one cell is discovered, the others continue, Young Ho explained to new recruits. We are not one resistance, but thousands, like a spider web that cannot be broken by cutting a single strand. In his laboratory, researcher Tae-ho Kim made the breakthrough everyone had been working toward. Alien physics wasn't superior, it was just different. By combining council technology with human innovations, he developed gravity manipulation systems that could fold space itself. They never experimented, Tae-ho marveled at his equations. They inherited their technology from older civilizations and never questioned it. But humans question everything. Resistance members passed information through simple means. Hee-yong, the subway driver, left coded graffiti at stations. Jin-ho, the chef, baked secret messages into special bread. Minji, the teacher, trained children in mental mathematics that could unlock encryption codes. Captain Si-woo Park transformed Earth's military doctrine. Gone were traditional formations and strategies that council technology could overwhelm. Instead, he taught guerrilla warfare adapted for space, hit-and-run tactics, sabotage, psychological warfare. The council thinks in terms of fleets and armies, Si-woo taught his pilots, but we will fight like ghosts, appearing, striking, disappearing, before they understand what happened. Prime Minister Yoo-jin Lee, daughter of the first president who faced the council, became the face of unified resistance. She maintained public submission while coordinating the entire underground network. Her diplomatic meetings with council officials served as perfect cover for intelligence gathering. My mother asked for respect, she told secret gatherings. We will earn it. Human scientists discovered that council ships had redundant systems designed to prevent failure, but not to counter successful cyber attacks. Their weapons were powerful but predictable. Their shields were strong but followed preset patterns. The resistance grew stronger each year. By 2125, Earth had a hidden fleet of 500 ships. Thousands of scientists had solved council technology puzzles. Millions of humans knew basic resistance protocols. The network connected every nation, every culture, united by shared humiliation and determination. Young Ki-jun trained as an astronaut while secretly learning advanced combat maneuvers. Scientist Ji-woo developed new alloys that could withstand alien weapons. Engineer Bo-yeon created independent power systems immune to council interference. Most importantly, humans maintained perfect camouflage. They continued appearing beaten, primitive, unable to understand advanced technology. Council representatives became comfortable, even lazy. They stopped checking human facilities thoroughly. They trusted their own propaganda, and deep in hidden laboratories, command centers, and training facilities, humanity prepared for the day they would turn everything around. 50 years of patient work, careful planning, and silent determination. The galaxy had laughed at Earth. Soon the last laugh would belong to humanity. The morning of March 15, 2125, started like any other day across Earth. Council patrols moved through their regular routes. Garrison ships maintained standard orbit. Monitoring stations ran routine scans. Everything appeared normal. Admiral Su-min-ko sat in the command center deep beneath Seoul, watching holographic displays count down to 0. 50 years of preparation had led to this moment. Around Earth's solar system, human ships waited in stealth positions that Council technology couldn't detect. All units report ready, reported Tactical Officer Gun-ho Kim, his quantum computers humming with battle predictions. Council patterns confirmed. They haven't changed a single routine in 3 years. Su-min took a deep breath. Execute Operation Prometheus. Across the solar system, 200 stealth ships simultaneously revealed themselves. Human-designed vessels appeared like ghosts, their hulls reflecting no radar, no heat signature, no energy readings that Council systems recognized. The first Council monitoring station near Mars didn't even broadcast a warning before it was destroyed. Human weapons using new physics bypassed alien shields entirely. Ships that had guarded Earth for 50 years found themselves helpless against technology they'd never encountered. Colonel Min-Soo Park led the assault on the Council's main garrison, anchored above Earth. Traditional military doctrine would have called for a massive fleet engagement. Instead, human forces divided into small, fast-moving squadrons that attacked from every direction. Council weapons fired at empty space, while human ships moved through it like shadows. Traditional energy shields deflected nothing because human weapons struck at molecular levels, breaking apart ships from within. Within 12 hours, the entire garrison force was either destroyed or in retreat. Defense Minister Yoon Seo Lee coordinated Earth's planetary defenses from a command post that could move location every 30 minutes. The Council had never faced an enemy that could relocate entire command structures through space-folding technology. Council reinforcements approaching, reported her assistant. 3 battle groups from the outer system. Let them come, Yoon Seo replied calmly. Operation Quicksand is ready. Human engineers had spent decades studying those same battle groups. They knew every ship design, every weapon type, every tactical maneuver. As the Council forces entered Earth's outer defense sphere, they encountered weapons that didn't exist in their database. Gravity mines that crushed ships, energy fields that drained power systems, cyber attacks that turned their own computers against them. The Council's greatest shock came when human ships began appearing through what the aliens called forbidden routes. Captain Ji-woo Park led a squadron through subspace tunnels the Council claimed were impossible to navigate. His ships emerged inside enemy territory, destroying a major supply depot before the Council even realized they'd been breached. "This is impossible!" Council commanders screamed as human forces struck at locations light years apart simultaneously. Their doctrine said ships needed months to travel such distances. Human ships made the journey in hours. Commander Hyun-ah, SEO demonstrated another human innovation: capture instead of destruction. Her team had developed technology that could completely disable Council ships without harming the crew. These intact vessels provided invaluable intelligence and could even be turned against their former masters. Military Science Director Dong-hyun Kim had designed the overall strategy that left Council forces confused and scattered. While aliens expected direct fleet engagements, human forces targeted infrastructure instead. Communication relays fell silent. Supply lines were severed. Automated facilities responsible for logistics stopped functioning. "We're not fighting their military," Dong-hyun explained to his staff. "We're dismantling their support structure. A warship without fuel and ammunition is just space debris." Human pilots employed tactics that violated every rule of space combat, as the Council understood it. Seong-hee flew her fighter between Allied ships at impossible speeds, using friendly vessels as shields while launching micro-missiles. Jin-woo disabled enemy targeting computers by creating holographic duplicates of his squadron. Hai-won crashed, his ship into an enemy vessel, but ejected at the last second in an escape pod with stealth technology. Within 72 hours, Earth's solar system belonged to humanity again. Council forces either fled or surrendered. The monitoring stations that had watched humanity for 50 years now detected only empty space. Garrison ships that had projected alien authority now drifted powerless, their crews evacuated. But Operation Prometheus was just beginning. Human forces didn't stop at Earth's borders. They followed fleeing Council ships through commercial space routes, attacking supply convoys and communication nodes. Small human squadrons appeared in systems previously thought secure, striking and disappearing before fleets could respond. The Council tried to understand these new tactics. Their military computers analyzed data that made no sense. Ships moving faster than physics allowed. Weapons that operated on unknown principles. Battle formations that seemed random, yet proved devastatingly effective. A Council general reviewing the battle logs made a startling admission. "These primitives have become something we never prepared to fight." Earth celebrated its first victory, but the leaders of the resistance knew this was only the beginning. They had proven humans were not primitive. They had shown the galaxy that humanity could fight. Now they had to win a war against an empire of 500 civilizations. As Admiral Soo Min-ko planned the next phase of operations, she reflected on the changed situation. For 50 years, Earth had endured humiliation. For 50 years, they had prepared. Now, for the first time, the Council knew fear. The war had truly begun, and humanity held the initiative. The galaxy would learn what happens when you underestimate humans. Human raids continued across Council space, growing bolder each month. Systems that had never experienced conflict found human ships striking their unmanned facilities. For centuries, the Council maintained order through fear, but now fear worked against them. On the homeworld of the Krell, their trading councils received disturbing reports. Human attacks followed precise patterns, destroying only military targets while carefully avoiding civilian areas. This wasn't the behavior of primitive savages. The Krell, masters of commerce, recognized opportunity when they saw it. Ambassador, Thrix of the Krell requested secret negotiations through coded transmissions. "We wish to discuss trade partnerships," the message read, using terms suggesting neutrality. The request reached General Ju-Won Lee, who had planned for this moment. The first meeting occurred in an asteroid field, neutral territory. Krell delegates arrived on a transport ship, marked with peace symbols. General Lee met them aboard a human frigate designed to project strength without aggression. "Your weapons interest us," Thrix admitted, his reptilian features showing respect. "But more than that, your courage impresses us. The Council has grown cruel and stagnant." General Lee presented stolen Council documents showing how the Krell were overtaxed for decades, their trading routes restricted, their ships monitored and searched without warrant. The Krell had suffered too, though differently from humans. The Athori, ancient philosophers who had joined the Council thousands of years ago, made an unprecedented announcement. Their speaker addressed the galactic community. "We withdraw our support from this war. To suppress emerging intelligence contradicts our core beliefs." This declaration shook the Council's foundation. The Athori ships, known for their diplomatic missions, refused to transport Council officials. Their scientists stopped sharing research. Their worlds became safe havens for species questioning the conflict. The Council responded with Operation Retaliation, mobilizing fleets that hadn't moved in centuries. Their plan was simple: crush Earth completely and restore fear throughout the galaxy. Council strategists believed that a show of overwhelming force would end human resistance and warn others against similar rebellions. Admiral Han-Yul Park had prepared Earth's defense network specifically for this assault. Scientists studying captured Council technology had discovered weaknesses in their mass warfare systems. The alien ships were designed to fight in traditional formations, not against Earth's layered defense strategies. When the Council Armada approached the solar system, they encountered first human innovation. Automated defense stations appeared to fall quickly, but these were decoys filled with explosives. As Council ships moved forward, mines using gravity compression destroyed entire formations. Energy fields stretched between asteroids caught ships. Like cosmic spiderwebs, Colonel Jin-Ho Choi commanded the counterattack forces. Human ships approached the Council fleet, using random flight patterns that their targeting computers couldn't predict. Some appeared as debris until they were among enemy ships. Others projected fake signals to confuse sensors. The disciplined Council formations broke apart trying to target elusive human fighters. Defense Secretary Mi-Young Kang had transformed Earth's moon into a military fortress. Hidden orbital platforms revealed themselves as Council ships passed, launching attacks from unexpected angles. The Council had never experienced defensive systems that actively hunted attackers. "They still don't understand," Mi-Young observed as Council ships retreated. "They think in terms of lines and formations. They can't comprehend defense that becomes offense." The turning point came during a battle near Jupiter. Council Dreadnought Dominator, flagship of their invasion fleet, engaged human forces using standard protocols. Commander Haewon Park recognized this ship from captured databases. It was the Council's most advanced vessel, supposedly invincible. But Haewon had prepared specifically for this encounter. Human ships focused their attacks on the Dreadnought's command section, using shaped energy beams that paralyzed control systems without destroying them. Council crew members found their own weapons turning off, their engines failing, their communications dying. Boarding teams secured the intact vessel within hours. Human engineers immediately began analyzing the flagship systems, making a shocking discovery. The advanced technology was actually cobbled together from dozens of different species, poorly integrated and outdated. The Council hadn't innovated. In centuries, they had merely forced conquered races to contribute their knowledge. Physicist Jun Young Kim studied the Dreadnought's main reactor. "Look at this design," she told her colleagues. "It's 3 different power systems fighting each other. No wonder their ships need so much energy." The captured ship revealed another truth. The Council kept its member species' technology separate, requiring complex systems to interface between different designs. This made their ships powerful but slow, rigid but unreliable. Human ships built with unified technology could outperform them in every aspect that mattered. News of the Dreadnought's capture spread quickly. More species within the Council started questioning their allegiance. The Vorak, cyber specialists, admitted their systems had been compromised by human quantum algorithms. The Malari weapons manufacturers discovered humans had surpassed their most advanced designs. Council authority was crumbling. Their member species whispered about humanity not being primitive at all, but perhaps more innovative than the ancient civilizations that formed the Council. Fear of human technology replaced fear of Council punishment. In Council assembly chambers, debates grew heated. Some members demanded surrender, others called for total war. The unity that had held for millennia fractured along new lines. Those who feared humanity's rise versus those who saw opportunity in change. Earth's military command recognized the shift. The war had entered a new phase. They were no longer fighting for survival, they were fighting for galactic transformation. The Council's desperate attempts to crush humanity had instead revealed their own weakness to their subjects. General Seo Jun Park addressed Earth's population. The enemy's greatest weapon was never their ships or technology. It was our belief in their superiority. Today, the galaxy sees truth. The galaxy now understood that humanity was not a primitive species to be controlled, but an emerging power that could reshape the cosmic order. The Council's desperation grew with each passing day, as their empire showed cracks that could not be repaired. By 2140, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The once mighty Galactic Council now controlled only the core systems, while dozens of species had declared independence or joined humanity's growing alliance. President Jae-yoon Kim stood before a holographic assembly that included diplomats from 50 different species. Her words echoed across light years. "Earth does not seek conquest or revenge. We invite all species to join us in voluntary cooperation, where each voice matters equally." The Krell representatives immediately pledged support. The Authori offered their ancient wisdom to help build the new framework. Species that had feared human vengeance instead found open hands extended in friendship. But the Council wasn't finished. In their final headquarters, hidden in a nebula system, Council leaders activated the Omega Protocol. This ancient weapon, secretly developed centuries ago, could destroy stars themselves by triggering solar instability. They planned to use it not just against Earth, but against any system that had defected. Dr. Ki-young Park, former Council scientist who had joined Earth 2 years earlier, burst into the command center with horrifying news. "They've activated the Omega Protocol. It's programmed to hit 30 systems simultaneously, including Earth." Human scientists had captured parts of this technology before, but never the complete system. Ki-young's knowledge proved invaluable. Working with Earth's quantum computers, his team found a way to reverse the targeting commands. "We can't stop the weapon," Ki-young explained, stress making his hands shake. "But we can redirect it." The Council linked it to all their administrative networks for the activation signal. If we can hack that connection... Within hours, human cyber warfare specialists, led by Ji-hoon Lee, had infiltrated every Council system. They didn't stop the Omega Protocol, they turned it against its creators. The weapon designed to punish rebellious systems instead triggered destabilization sequences in Council-controlled stars. Council leaders watched in horror as their own weapon began affecting their core systems. Evacuations commenced immediately, but the damage was done. Their military-industrial infrastructure concentrated in those systems collapsed within weeks. The Council's desperate call for surrender reached Earth just as the first Council worlds began experiencing stellar anomalies. President Kim's response was both firm and merciful. "Surrender completely, and we will help evacuate and relocate your civilians." Secretary Nari Lee became the architect of the new galactic order. Working with diplomats from various species, she designed the United Star Alliance Charter. The document emphasized three core principles: voluntary membership, equal voting rights regardless of species size or technology level, and mutual protection agreements. No species should ever again be classified as primitive, Nari stated. As over 200 worlds signed the Charter, "Diversity in thought and approach makes us stronger." Prime Minister Bo Kyung-kang took on the challenging role of integrating former Council worlds into the alliance. Many citizens feared human retribution for their past actions. Bo Kyung traveled personally to Council worlds, addressing crowds in their own languages. "Your leaders made mistakes," she told gathered Marathi citizens on their desert homeworld. "But you are not your leaders. You welcome you as equals." Former military commander General Sung-hyun Park shocked everyone by accepting assignment as Earth's first Minister of Interstellar Peace. The general, who had led battles against the Council, now became its primary advocate for rehabilitation and integration. "Yesterday's enemies become tomorrow's allies when given the chance," Sung-hyun stated, establishing exchange programs between former Council military forces and Earth's Defense Academy. Admiral Yong-soo Kim, who had commanded the human fleet that captured the last Council dreadnought, transformed his battle analysis skills into predictive peace models. His algorithms identified potential conflicts before they escalated, allowing diplomatic intervention instead of military response. Minister Chae Won-jung created the Galactic Reconciliation Commission, which documented both human suffering under Council rule and the complex reasons various species had supported that rule. The Commission promoted understanding instead of blame. In a touching ceremony, Chae Won welcomed Ambassador Vex, the same Halori official who had delivered Council ultimatums to Earth 65 years earlier. "You followed your culture's orders," she told the elderly alien. "Now we write new orders together." The transformation of galactic society happened remarkably fast. Species that had maintained bitter rivalries under Council rule discovered cooperation brought prosperity. Trade networks flourished. Scientific research accelerated. Cultural exchanges created unprecedented understanding. On Earth, changes reflected throughout society. The war economy shifted to exploration and development. Jisoo Park, a child who had grown up under Council occupation, now commissioned humanity's first intergalactic exploration vessel. Captain Won-ho Lee prepared for a journey beyond the known galaxy. His crew included members from 20 different species, united in curiosity about what lay beyond charted space. The exploration vessel carried not weapons, but advanced sensors, cultural exchange packages, and offers of friendship. As Won-ho's ship departed the edge of Council-mapped space, humanity and its allies' new challenges remained. The galaxy was vast, and new threats would surely emerge. But they faced the future not with fear, but with unity. Children studying in Earth schools now learned alongside alien participants in exchange programs. Scientists collaborated on projects that seemed impossible under Council rule. The military, that had once prepared for war, now focused on protecting shared prosperity. The final irony hadn't escaped anyone. Humanity had lost everything to the Council's humiliation, but in fighting back, they had given the galaxy something far better than what had come before. They hadn't just won a war, they had sparked a revolution in how galactic civilization could function. In a small memorial on Luna, near where the first Council ships had appeared 65 years earlier, a simple inscription read, "From humiliation, strength, from strength, wisdom, from wisdom, unity." The galaxy moved forward, transformed by the stubborn determination of a species once dismissed as primitive. The age of the Council had ended, the age of voluntary cooperation had begun, and somewhere beyond known space, exploration continued, as humans and their new friends ventured toward whatever wonders awaited them in the cosmic dark.